great.
Wonderful to see you.
Same.
Perfect.
Well,
Okay.
thank you all so much for being here this evening. This is a topic that is near and dear to my heart, and I'm guessing the topic of stress relief is also near and dear to your hearts, or you wouldn't be here this evening. As in the lead up to this event, I was talking about, well, we all were talking about that no one lives without some form of stress these days. And what it really comes down to is what tools do you have in your toolkit? And I am a lifelong learner. I don't think I ever won't be. And I'm always on a mission to find new tips and tricks that are practical and that I can easily incorporate into my everyday life. So I'm really excited to have this conversation. I also think in the era of quick fixes and immediate satisfaction, which is what the sales pitch is these days on most products and techniques out there, it's good to be reminded of some of the basics, which is what we're going to talk about tonight. So I'm really grateful for this conversation because I feel like the fall season that we currently are in, even if you're watching the replay, this applies to you, even if you're watching in the summer, but each season comes with its own stresses, and fall tends to be a pretty busy time of year. So I am super excited about this conversation and so happy to have each and every one of you here. So Carla, what did I miss in our intro?
Just who you are.
Do people want to know who I am? So I am Daphne. I live in St. Pete, Florida, and most of you I have met before, which is awesome. I'm a mom to a 10-year-old, and I am wife to a husband who works on ships. So he is about ready to head off again.
Yeah.
And that is me.
And your background is you were
Oh, I should. Yeah, that's sort of the important part. So I've been with Shackley for more than a decade at this point. My background actually is science. I'm a coastal scientist by training. And so I was drawn to Shackley because I was looking to, well, get rid of toxins in my life. And Carla became my lifesaver. She was able to make a connection with my cleaning products and how they were giving me headaches at the time. And I didn't even make that connection myself. So very grateful for Carla and for conversations like these.
Awesome. Thank you, Daphne, my wonderful co-host. So I am Carla Clayton, for those of you that don't know me. And my background is I was an elementary school teacher who got sick all the time, picked up everything. Someone introduced me to Shackley products. I started using them, and it began a complete transformation of how I viewed my health and took care of myself. And now I'm coming up on the big 6-0 in just a few months with Liz. You've got your birthday on the same day as me.
Oh,
So
wow.
we share our birthdays.
I'm gonna be 55. So we've
Woo-hoo,
both got
Sweden.
big birthdays coming up.
Yes, yes. So Shackley changed my life. So that's why I'm passionate about sharing it. But we bring more than just products. We like to bring education to the table, and that's what tonight is all about. And so I am a mom to 2 adult daughters and 2 granddaughters. So I wanted to talk about stress touching all of our lives, right? And it affects everything about our health, including our metabolism, our sleep, our mood, our digestion, even our hormones. But the good news is there are some simple natural tools that can help us thrive. So we're going to be sharing that tonight. Oh, I forgot to mention I'm a caregiver of my mother who just got out of the hospital, and I just got back from getting her all settled in her apartment. So I know some of you are caregivers as well. Okay, so here's what we're going to do tonight. We are going to have some of our speakers. I have invited some of my girl boss friends who work in wellness, and they're going to share some tips, along with some of our Shackley Smart Choices team who are going to share some of their tips and some of the products that they use as tools. And so we will get started now. And I actually am going to let people volunteer in the order they want to go. So who would like to be our first speaker? You've got a couple of minutes just to share your tip. Just raise your hand and then I'll do a little introduction of you. Volunteer. All right, Laura. Yay. Listen, Laura was on our last call and we just picked up so much of her awesome wisdom that we invited her back. So Laura is an Ayurvedic, I struggle with that word, healer, practitioner, and she's also a chef. And what she does is she brings ancient wisdom into our modern life. And tonight she's going to share a few calming, you're going to have to say it for me, Ayurvedic approach to managing stress. Welcome, Laura.
Well, thank you, Carla, for the introduction. Stress, I think in this country is probably a very big thing going on right now. And digestion and stress go hand in hand. So when you're talking about stress, it's your body by nature is already having a hard time digesting. So if you're in a stress mode or if you're in fight or flight, if you cannot calm down or sit down, take a deep breath and settle, you're on an uphill battle to digest the food that you're taking in, regardless of what it is. It's very important to sit down, breathe deep, and then continue to eat. And on that note, when you're in a stressful situation, your body needs more rejuvenation, more ojas, which is energy. So you want to look at different tastes. So Ayurvedic has 6 tastes, and they are sweet, sour, salty, astringent, bitter, and pungent. I can't, you're on mute, unmute, Carla.
Can you repeat this one more time, please?
I can. So the 6 tastes are sweet, sour, salty, bitter, astringent, and pungent. So in stressful situations, you want to nurture yourself. So you'll be focusing on the sweet, sour, and salty tastes. And the sweet taste, you're looking at grains, dairy, sweet fruits. They're very grounding. They have what we call earth and water qualities to them. And stress brings on a lot of heat. So you want those watery, earthy qualities to tame some of the heat that you're creating from the stress. And then you have your sour. The sour taste, that helps create saliva, and that helps with digestion. And your sour are going to be your citrus. The citrus and nuts will have more sour. Some nuts are not sour, but some of them tend to be. Oh, excuse me, not nuts, that's salty. Sorry, I just came off a big retreat, cooking retreat this weekend, so I'm literally going sideways, coming in here sideways. Sour abuse citruses is what you're looking at then, some of your fruits and things like that. And increasing that saliva is going to increase the capacity for your digestive system to break down food. And then the other taste you want to be focusing on is the salty. Some people cannot, if you're having a hard time digesting food, nuts is probably not the best, but they are nurturing. If you're really running hard, I would not suggest nuts because you really need to be grounded to digest those also. But the saltiness in them is a good quality. It hydrates tissue and also improves digestion. Some of the other ones you can use in salty would be seaweeds. And seaweeds are really good. And I know sometimes eating them just as is hard, but taking a piece of kombu and adding it to a really nice rice is really good. Or mung dal, you could put some, using the mung, not make it like an Indian dish, but use the mung dal and make more of an Asian dish with it with the seaweed is really good. You just take it only needs a small piece. And again, you wanted your tissues, they're heated, they're fiery, and they're depleted, they're airy. So bringing in that salt to hold on to some of that hydration is very important. And let me see what else I wrote down. Another one, and the jury's out on this, it's not for me, but raw milk is extremely, extremely nurturing to tissues. It within a week, it can nurture all 7 layers of tissues. Yeah, it's the way you want to use it is heating it, and that makes it very easily digestible. Milk in general is good, but the raw milk has everything that you need in it, and that's why the Indians covet it so much. We can get raw milk here, not many places. I did find a place downtown St. Pete that I can get it, but the heating is the key with it. And it doesn't have to be boiling, but you want to bring that warmth into it to just break it down, break down the fats, and so it's easily digestible. And it's great at night. It helps you sleep. So if anybody has any questions, that's a very quick overview, but I hope that helps.
Yeah, that was fabulous. So I have had a very stressful day trying to get to this meeting with my mom coming home from the hospital today, and I had to get over there and then I had to get here. And I stopped by and I got a chicken poke bowl with seaweed. So I'm feeling good. I nurtured myself with that seaweed. I don't really like it, but I know it's good for me. So that was really helpful. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Do you want to pop them in the chat if you have some questions?
I was just going to say too, it's such a beautiful reminder of food as medicine. So thank you for that, Laura. Like how we nourish ourselves is so extremely important.
Yeah, that was fabulous. We're
So
going to
thank
invite you
you.
back again, I know. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, so let's yeah, if you have any questions throughout, go ahead and pop them in the chat and that'll help us to get those answered for you and keep moving along. So next I want to invite one of our team members to share maybe a Shaklee product that can be helpful during our stressful times.
So I'm willing to jump in, Carla, if that's okay. Or
I
Barbara,
would
do you
love
want to
it.
go?
Go ahead.
Okay. So Carla and I were prepping for this event, and I was telling her that I wanted to talk about sleep. Because sleep has obviously a direct correlation with stress. Anybody that's, woken up late in the morning knows what that feels like. But really, rest and sleep is a time that our body repairs itself. And I think that we forget how fundamentally important that is because sleep is also the thing that we're quick to cut by going to bed late or waking up super early to meet the deadline or do the thing. And so I just wanted to remind everyone that healthy sleep is a part of the natural stress relief toolkit. And Shaklee has a couple of products. I use one of them almost nightly. I wanted to share with you the Rest and Rewind tea. This little sachet you mix with 8 ounces of water, and I have it every evening as a hot tea. And one of the reasons that I do this is that I know that I have to mentally prepare myself and my body for sleep. I'm the type of person that would go, go, go until my head hit the pillow. And so I wind up doing Rest and Rewind 30 to 45 minutes before bed. And it's the way that I kind of slide into that transition of like, hey, body, it's time to prepare for sleep. Like, it's time to slow down. It's time to put the screens down. It's time to turn off the television, like whatever the distractions are. And I will say that this has taken me a while to get into this habit. And now I look forward to it because it's almost like a commitment that I've made to myself that, okay, like sleep is important. I've made this commitment. So whatever else is left on the to-do list is just going to have to wait until tomorrow. So Rest and Rewind is a mint tea. It basically prepares your body for sleep, but it also has an anti-aging component. It's got muscadine grape and resveratrol in it. And so you're helping your body repair cellularly as well as preparing for healthy sleep. So I love this. The other product that Shaklee has is called Dream Serene. This one is melatonin based. And so this one helps you fall asleep faster and stay asleep. Most people have a challenge with one or the other. They have trouble waking up in the middle of the night or they have trouble falling asleep. This combination is super helpful for falling asleep and staying asleep. So it's got valerian, it's got lemon balm, it's got melatonin, it's got L-theanine. So it's a fantastic sleep aid. But just as important is you preparing yourself for a good sleep, which is getting into a sleep routine, having a good, like even your bedtime and your wake up time, getting that into more of a pattern gives your body a rhythm of like knowing what to expect. So preparing yourself by having a set bedtime doesn't have to be perfect, but getting into that habit as well as like setting up a good sleep space. So, having a quiet room, a dark room, like the things that can help you fall asleep. So I'll stop there because we could spend the entire 30 minutes talking about it, but healthy sleep is very important. That's my message to you.
Thank you.
Oh, looks like Laura has a question.
I just want to put a side note on the valerian. Some people it has the opposite effect on.
Ooh.
So just I cannot take valerian. It's a great sleep aid, but if anybody takes it and is like, what's going on? It's just some people's systems, it flip-flops. So just a
I
little
love that. And there are some people that can't do melatonin for the same reason. And so I love that we have the options so you can use one or the other. So thanks for pointing that out. That's awesome.
yeah, because it's a great sleep aid for those that works. I'm jealous.
Yep. Oh, Carla, you're on mute.
I should probably just stay off mute. Okay, that was fabulous, Daphne. Thank you for sharing about how some different things we can do to sleep and a couple of different products that could be in your toolkit. So next, I'm going to invite Tina. Tina is a passionate midlife activist who encourages women to live a life well played. And she's a fellow girl boss with me, and she's going to share a couple of tips with us.
Thank you. I am really happy to be here with you guys tonight. And I think first and foremost, I want to talk about just midlife. And many women at this stage in life report that their ability to handle stress just feels different. Our response to stress changes. What was once manageable can start to feel overwhelming at this time of life. And our coping mechanisms may no longer work the way they used to. And so I just want you to know that this is totally normal and you're not alone if you're feeling this way. And the bigger question is, so what do we do about it if that's a normal part of this stage of life that we're going through? And I think that making sure that we prioritize recovery, restorative sleep, stress relief, self-care, all of those things become more of a priority at this stage of our life. And so I like to think of the balance between stress and recovery like a bathtub. So if you think about it, stress is the drain, and our bodies feel drained when we're stressed, like there's no water in the bathtub. And then the faucet is our recovery or our stress relief strategies. So just like I think Daphne said earlier, like stress is a normal part of our life. It's just going to be there. So we need to find that stress sweet spot, and that's when your bathtub is full. So having that balance of constantly refilling whatever's being drained, or at some points, there's so much being drained that we just need to plug that drain and take a step back. Stress adds up. And a lot of times we feel stressed without being able to even pinpoint the source of our stress. I know that I had a time in my life where I really did have to take a step back. And from that, I learned that the first thing you generally notice is the physical symptoms that you feel in your body and being able to identify what you're feeling. I know that I feel my shoulders tense up, or my breathing actually gets really shallow. For some people, your heart starts to race when you're stressed. Just being able to identify those physical symptoms is an important first step. And then being able to name where that stress is coming from. So like I get stressed when everybody's watching me try to hit a golf ball or there's just not enough time in the day. Being able to name where that stress is coming from is the next step. And then if we catch those things early, we're able to release that stress a little bit easier. Maybe taking a deep breath and relaxing the shoulders. That deep breath if you're breathing shallow. Acknowledging the stress and then being able to release it earlier is a good way to start in those small little stressful moments. Once you're relaxed, you know that being stressed is not going to help the situation at all anyways. So stress just makes those things harder. I found that once I started identifying those small stressors, I was able to see a larger pattern in my life. And for me, a lot of my stress comes from the pressure to perform. Or maybe for other people, it's being a people pleaser or not being able to say no. Once we see and identify the small stressors, and then we see that larger pattern, now we have something to work with, and we know what we need to work on to be able to help relieve some of the stress that doesn't need to be there. Some of the stress is going to be there no matter what, but sometimes we put some of that stress on ourselves too, right? So being able to identify what you can control and what you can't control, there's a lot of power in that knowledge. So that's just kind of how I like to think about those small stressors. And I also have a stress assessment that you can take that can help you identify the sources of stress in your life and just see how much water is being drained from your bathtub. Or if you like golf, I'm starting a women's golf group too. So that's a good way to get out and relieve some stress as well as hitting a golf ball. So I'll drop my email in the chat and just let me know if you're interested and I'll send you the information.
Cool.
Awesome. And Tina is local to St. Pete. So some of you,
Yes.
it's going to be a long drive to do the golf game. Oh, that was fabulous, Tina. Thank you so much for that bathtub analogy. I absolutely love that. You know, the drain being the stress and then the water, the recovery, balancing stress and recovery. What a great message. Thank you for sharing that today. All right, let's shift gears. So we went to midlife. Now I'm going to invite Mary Grace to share with us because Mary Grace is on our team and she is passionate about gut health and supporting women through pregnancy and postpartum. So she's in that younger demographic, and I'm excited to hear what she is going to share, how the relationship with stress and the gut works together.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure because I don't like wearing my headset all day because I've been wearing it at work. So I was like, I can hear better, but sometimes talking back, I had it on mute. So yes, I'm Mary Grace. I am currently pregnant with my second child. I have a 3.5-year-old toddler, and expecting my second one in December. One of the biggest things that I have learned since joining Shackley over 8 years ago is the importance of gut health, and especially during pregnancy. I know I talk to a lot of moms that are having issues is making sure you're having like that really good good flow when you're pregnant. So forgot to bring the products in, but the ones that I really like to recommend is the Aptiflora. He was on a walk, and of course, right when it's on my time to talk, he comes in my room. So 1 second. So yeah, the Aptiflora is one of the best probiotics that I have used. I've used different ones previously to be introduced to Shackley, and I just didn't really I didn't know what the right one was, right? I don't know if anyone has this problem too. When you go into Whole Foods, for example, like that's where I used to get my products previous to joining Shackley. I used to get overwhelmed just in the probiotic aisle. There was probiotics in the fridge. There was probiotics on the wall. There was some that had cranberry. There was some that were $30. There were some that were $5. I just didn't know what the right one was. And ever since I've been using this and I've been sharing it with other people, other moms, other people that have gut issues, that one has been the best help. If you're looking for something that is more of a like kind of like I call it like more like a cleanser one, the Aptiflora DI is really great too. That one's a little bit more powerful, but for an everyday I would all right, yeah. And talking about probiotics, my son loves kefir and just brought her kefir, however you pronounce it, and just brought it to my desk. Perfect timing, talking about gut health and how he wants that in his milk right now. Can you give it to puppies? No, okay, so it's all about mom. But yeah, but probiotics from that perspective is really great. Now, when I have also noticed that when you're okay. Is when you're stressed too. One of the biggest things that it does affect is your gut health too. So if people are not going to the restroom and you're really getting all that things backed up from nerves or things like just backup of flow, I guess, that can really affect your mood. It can affect your skin. It can affect it can affect your sleep too, because you're feeling full all the time. So one of the biggest things that I tell people is to make sure that you are taking, like, if you're, if you're not very big in supplements, a probiotic is super important through any stage through life, and especially in postpartum as well. Like a funny story was I watched a video about what's the best things to do after labor, and everyone was talking about if you have a child, they say the first time you go to the bathroom after pushing out someone through you is like one of the most terrifying things that you can do. And someone told me to bring herb blocks with me to the bathroom, to the hospital, and that was the one thing that I made sure that. Thank you. That's one of the things I always made sure I had in my hospital bag, because I was like, if I'm gonna go here. I'm not gonna go at home. And it worked. When I tell all the mamas too, I was like, it's just better to be doing it in the hospital than your first time at home. But Herb Blacks is really wonderful too to help clean your gut. So probiotics and Herb Blacks are probably my two most important supplements that I give to my friends, and I recommend to my family as well.
That was
And
great. That was great. So, Herblax, yeah, that's one of Dr. Shackley's original formulas, and it's a tablet you take full of 8 different herbs, and it works. If you don't know, if you want to know if Shackley products work, just take that one. I don't know if you mentioned, I stepped away because I also forgot to bring my products to the desk, so I went to get mine. But did you mention Good Gut and Go as well?
yeah, I do. I like to give it to my son too. Like if he needs a little probiotic, it's raspberry. It tastes like raspberry, and it's very light. And so I was really excited because it's kind of like a combination between the probiotic and Herblox, because it helps you do both
Yeah.
in one tea.
And it's a little stick like Daphne showed. I'm sorry, we
Mhm.
didn't have to bring one. But and I put it in my water every day, and it just helps keep me ready. It's the easiest way to get probiotics and prebiotics. It's a both combo. So it's really good. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. If you have any questions for Mary Grace, or if you know any women that are planning to get pregnant or have just had babies, keep us in mind as someone to refer to join our community so we can give them that support and, share all the things. I mean, Mary Grace is the most recent to go through it, but many on our team have. So let's move now to Barbara. Barbara is one of our team members. Barbara is a nurse, and she specializes in natural menopause support. She's going to be highlighting the B complex vitamin and how it supports stress, resilience, and hormone balance.
Hi, y'all. I'm so glad to be here tonight and share with you all. I am from Moultrie, been with Shackley for about 7 years, and I use several of their products for my foundation. B Complex is one of them. And the reason why I like the B Complex is because it supports energy, hormones, and also my mental health, the brain fog that you can get whenever you're fatigued. And I'm a little bit nervous too, by the way.
Fine. You're doing great.
You're doing
I was like,
great.
wow, she
Okay.
got it.
Um, it's just like I said, one of the foundations for my toolkit that Daphne talks about for my medicines that I take, my supplements rather. Uh, B complex is full of 8 essential B vitamins, your B1, 2, 3, 6, I think folate and biotin, along with B12. And all of those have different functions. And what makes it so nice with Shackley is the way it's designed. Your body absorbs what you need in the digestive system as you take it. Some are released early on, some are released later on. It also has like a folate acid coating to help generate that possibility. Um, Let me look at my notes.
You're doing fabulous. This is Barbara's first speaking, so thank you all for Sending her good vibes.
Thank you. Yes, good vibes. B complex with the B6, it helps with the mood swings, PMS, irritability, and that's why I like it with me going through menopause. For those who are in midlife having that struggle, or PMS, you can take it with that struggle too.
Awesome. That was fabulous. So one of the things I learned early with my Shackley career is that your B vitamins only work to the weakest link. So if you're not getting enough of one of the B vitamins, then the others are not going to be utilized in your body. So you want to take them in a complex, unless you've been prescribed something. But in general, most of us, we want to take that in a full complex to get the best bang out of it. And since you're talking, why don't you tell them about Menopause Balance Complex? Because you have had great results, and with your friends you've shared it with.
Oh, well, I do have the B complex with me.
Awesome.
I forgot to show that. The Menopause Balance Complex has the different things in it, and I didn't review that, so I'm not able to tell you on that. But it does help with the hormonal balance to regulate that, so you don't have the hot flashes, the mood swings, the brain fog. It does have black cohosh in it, and two other real ingredients that are important, and I apologize for that. But those two little capsules help me every day.
Okay, so what kind of results did you notice? I remember you told me that prior to using this, you were dealing a lot with.
Oh, yeah. I would wake up in the middle of the night with hot flashes, sweating, getting extremely hot, then getting cold and having to shift covers, changing gowns, turning the air up, turning it down. Very much so interrupted the sleep cycle. But since I've started this, my hormone levels have been regulated. Very few hot flashes. And when I do, they don't last near as long, nor are they as intense. So it's been a game changer for me.
That's fabulous. I know you've shared it with several friends who've had those same kinds of results as well.
Yes, right.
That's fabulous. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you,
so
Barbara.
much.
Thank y'all. Thank you for the good vibes.
You did great. Okay, so I am the last guest speaker, and I'm going to share my favorite products for stress relief. As a matter of fact, I went and got them and took one. This is a Stress Relief Complex, and this is Cheer Up and Chill Out. And I'll tell you about both of these. So this one was original. This was the first. And you will love this, Laura, because it's got an Ayurvedic herb in it, ashwagandha. So, and that, as well as L-theanine, beta sitosterol, and L-tyrosine. And these help to reduce your stress without making you feel drowsy. So it's not going to affect you. You can take it in the daytime. The benefit that I love about this is it blunts the effects of cortisol. Cortisol is a hormone that when you're under stress, your body produces more of it, and is very damaging to your health. And it also contributes to belly fat. So I'm a big fan of Stress Relief Complex, but I will tell you, when they came out with this, I became a bigger fan of this product. So it's basically the same, however, it's got B vitamins in it as well. So this is a strawberry gummy, and you just take one. I usually take one every morning. So I like to take this one in the morning, and then this one, I don't always do it, but if I had a real stressful day and I want to make sure I'm getting my sleep, the stress relief at night just helps to balance all that cortisol and help me sleep better. But these gummies are so yummy. I love the gummies. And so this is what they look like. And I highly, highly recommend these. All the same ingredients, but it's also got the B vitamins for mood to help lift you up, like Barbara was talking about.
Awesome.
So that's all of our guest speakers
I
now.
got a question.
Yes.
Can you spell the word Ayurvedic? Because I've never heard that before.
Yes. Laura, would you mind typing that in the comments for us? Make sure you get it right from the
Thank you.
source. So, okay, so I'm going to tell you about a couple of things that we've got put together for you, some special announcements. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to turn the recording off so that we can chat. And you don't have to be like worried about what, you're sharing. So we're going to do that. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is we have put together a stress relief bundle that includes some stress relief complex, cheer up and chill out, be complex, dream serene, and the rest and rewind tea. If you would like a link to that bundle, reach out to your ambassador that's on this call and they will get you the shopping link for that. And it's mix and match. It's customizable. You can take things out of the cart, put things in the cart. It's up to you. The next thing I want to do is just tell you all about something really exciting. And I think probably everybody on this call knows about it if you are connected with me anyway at all. As a matter of fact, let's have some fun. Let's put it in the comments, put it in the chat. What is launching tomorrow? Don't say it out loud, but put it in the chat. If you're watching this later, the replay, put it in the comments. What is launching? Now let's see if we get some right answers. Okay, Mary Grace, Barbara, Kaylee, Daphne. All right, you guys have got it. You've got it. Tina, good job. Maria. All right, so we are launching the sparkling protein. So let's talk about how this is related to stress. I'll tell you how it's related to my own personal story. I told you today was a crazy day because I didn't know they were sending my mom home from the hospital. I had to get there, help her get settled, it's just a bunch of stuff. And then I had to get back here in time for this meeting. And I didn't have time to eat some today as much as I wanted to. And that sparkling protein came in so handy. I put it in my big Stanley cup and I added a little bit of cherry juice to it. Oh, it's such a good combo. So good. And I sipped on that while I was dealing with all her stuff. So, yes, we're excited. It is dropping. We are taking pre-orders tonight. So if you want to pre-order, get your information together, get it to your ambassador so that they can help you order tomorrow when it actually drops. And something new was just announced today. I don't know if anybody on this call knows this, so it's lean in. It's a good one. When you order, thank you. When you order your first case of this, while supplies last, you're going to be able to add to your cart our new, remember the 5-day reset, the protein oats? Those are going to be able to buy a 7-pack for only $10. So all you do is add it to the cart and it'll only be $10. And so I just wanted to let you all know the good news. All right. So I am going to thank everybody for watching and we're going to turn off the recording. Then we're going to open up for the community chat part where we can talk about and ask questions and you don't have to feel like everybody's watching.